Welcome, everyone. And today, with the help of Hashem, we are going to do day 2 of Sefer Chafetz Chaim Yomi. So, the Chafetz Chaim now goes on to explain how Lashon Harah, is one of the main causes of our current exile that we are still in, that we have been for the past almost 2,000 years. So the Chafetz Chaim says, "V'kasher nichbashad derachinu v'nachokra." When we examine our ways and consider Ezu avonot hem meikarim agormim la'arichat galuteinu, which sins are the primary cause of our lengthy exile. Nimtzet harbe, we will discover that there are many. Achet alashon wal kulo mipnei kama ta'amim. However, the sin of Lashon Harah supersedes them all for several reasons. And the Chafetz Chaim will now present several sources that Lashon Harah is the cause of our extended exile. He presents a total of 5 proofs that out of all the sins, Lashon Harah is the main sin of our lengthy exile. So the first proof, Echad, Kevan shezeh haya ikar hasiba galuteinu, since the sin of Lashon Harah was the primary reason we were exiled in the first place, Kamo shevi'anu begemara yomo v'Yerushalmi aniskar leil, as we brought above from the Gemara in Yom and Yerushalmi that we explained yesterday, which said that Lashon Harah, that for the second Beit HaMikdash, it was destroyed because of Lashon Harah. Im kain, if so, kal kama shelo nir'eh litaken ze achet. As long as we fail to rectify the sin, eich tuchal leichyot geula. How can there possibly be redemption? Kevan sheze achet begam al kol kach. Why, since we see that this sin of Lashon Harah caused damage to the extent that we were exiled from our land because of it, then all the more so will speaking Lashon Harah prevent us from returning to our land. I mean, Chafetz Chaim uses here simple logic, right? If we were exiled because of Lashon Harah, then how much more so will we not experience redemption if we continue speaking it? The second proof, ve'od, halo yaduahu, it is well known, shenigzar aleinu galut mikvar, that the exile was already decreed upon us, me'et ma'aseh meraglim, at the time of the incident of the spies, kemo shekatuv b'Teilim, as it is written in Tehillim, Psalm 106, v'yasa yado lahem la'apil otam v'gomer bagoim lezarotam be'artzot. And Hashem lifted his hand in an oath against Israel to make them fall and to scatter them among the lands. And this verse teaches that the Jewish people were exiled in punishment for the sin of the spies. As explained the Rashi there to that pasuk in Tehillim, and the Ramban to Chumash Parshat Shlach, Bamidbar, chapter Yudalid, pasuk Aleph. והחטא המרגלים לא היה עוון לשון הרע. Now the sin of the spies was לשון הרע, כמו דאיתה בערכין, as the Gemara in Erechin 15a states explicitly. It thus emerges that the decree of exile referred to in the pasuk in Tehillim was in retribution for speaking לשון הרע. אם כן, אנו מרוחכים לתקן זה החטא Kodem ageula. If so, it is an imperative that we rectify the sin before the redemption can come. The third proof, the od nimtza mefurash, and furthermore, there is yet another proof that Lashon Harah is responsible for exile, as it is found explicitly. She'avon ze gorem yehu Yisrael nderim befarech, that this sin caused the Jewish people to be subjugated with back-breaking labor. Mimash katuv meparashat Shmot, as it is written in Parashat Shmot. Achen noda davar, Moses said, indeed the matter that I killed the Egyptian had become known, right? Moses saw an Egyptian beating a Jewish worker, and Moses killed him, and next day Moses realized that the matter had indeed been known, because people said that they saw him. And see Rashi's commentary there, where he explains Moses' remark as follows. Right, Rashi there says that when that when Moses saw the Jews speaking Lashon Harah, Moses said, I understand now that the Jewish people deserve to be punished with back-breaking labor because of the sin that they're doing. The fourth proof, the Od, additionally, furthermore, it is found explicitly in Midrash Rabbah to Parashat Kiteitzei, chapter 6, pasuk 14. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He, said, Be'olam hazeh, in this world, al yedei she'aya lashon hara beinechem, because there was lashon hara among you, salakti shchina mibnechem, I removed my shchina from your midst, aval le'atid lavo v'chule. But in the future, right, the Midrash continues, I will uproot the evil inclination. And it continues again, I will return my shchina among you. Right? When Hashem will get rid of the evil inclination, Hashem will return the Shekhinah. But the very reason why the Shekhinah was removed in the first place was because there's the sin of Lashon Harah amongst the Jewish people. And the fifth proof, the last proof, the Od Mikra Mifurash Berashat Bracha Bezot Bracha. There's also an explicit verse in Parashat Bezot Bracha, the last Parasha, Dvarim chapter 33, pasuk 5. והיה בישורון מלך בהתאסף ראשי עם יחד שבטי ישראל. And he was king over Yeshurun. Yeshurun is another name for Israel. When the leaders of the nations gathered and the tribes of Israel were unified. Rashi there explains, and he quotes a source from, he cites verbatim statement in Sifri, She'amatai hu melech b'Yeshurun, when is Hashem king over Yeshurun? Davka kshem bi'echad shivtei Yisrael, specifically when the tribes of Israel unified. Velo agudot, and not when they are divided into disparate groups. V'yadua, now it is known that shedavar zeh ragil lavo al yedei lashon hara, that such discord commonly accords as a result of lashon hara. No need to explain, because that is true. The Chafetz Chaim shows that Lashon Harah is the cause of other tribulations as well, in that it prevents us from receiving Hashem's blessings. Aside from this, the Lashon Harah prolongs the exile. It causes other harm as well. Ha'ech yecholot lachul aleinu b'berechotav shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu she'anu mekayevim lazeh. Now, how can Hashem's blessings, for which we hope, come upon us, kivan be'avonoteinu arabim, when for our many sins, anu merogulim bechet zeh, we accustom ourselves to committing this transgression of Lashon Harah. Right? Lo yesh al zeh arur mefurash b'Torah, why there is an explicit curse in the Torah regarding the sin, namely, arur maker re'eu baseter, cursed to the one who strikes his fellow in secret. And v'shechu ka'ai al lashon hara, right? This pasuk in Parashat Kitavo, where it talks about all the sins, all the curses of Israel. Rashi there explains that this curse applies to someone who speaks lashon hara, right? Because a person usually speaks lashon hara beseter, in secret. Okay, v'levad she'ar harurin she'yesh sham od al zeh, and is in addition to the other curses that apply to one who speaks lashon hara. As will be explained below at the end of the introduction, right? At the end of the Chafetz Chaim introduction, which we didn't get to yet, the Chafetz Chaim will speak about more curses in the Torah for speaking lashon hara. Okay, so the Chafetz Chaim talks more about the negative aspect of lashon hara. V'levad zeh, additionally, halo yadua hu migemara de'erechin niskar le'el. As is known from the aforementioned Gemara in Erechin 15b, shegodel avon hazeh hu ad she'ein shi'ur, for the severity of the sin of lashon hara is immeasurable. You cannot measure it. Ad she'amru alav, to the point that Chazal say regarding one who speaks lashon hara, shehu kechofer beikar chas v'shalom, that he is likened to one who denies the existence of Hashem, chas v'shalom. And the Rambam explains this in Hilchot Tumat V'Tzarat, right? Because a person receives Tzarat namely because of the sin of Lashon Harah. There are other sins, but namely Lashon Harah. And he says there that this is how cynics behave. First, they speak excessively about vanities, about things, about vain things. This leads them to speak negatively about the righteous, and this in turn leads them to be accustomed to speak against the prophets. And ultimately, they will come to speak against Hashem and to deny His existence entirely. And this all starts when people speak Lashon Harah, when people speak about vain things, which is also not the best thing to do. The Amru B'Yerushalmi D'Peah. And Chazal also says in the Yerushalmi to the first Mishnah in Peah, Shenifra'in min Adam avur ze avon ba'olam hazeh, that a person is punished somewhat in this world for the sin of Lashon Harah, ve'akeren kayemet la'olam haba, while the primary punishment is reserved to the world to come. And the Chafetz Chaim will explain this further. Ve'ayin lekama b'fticha, for further reading regarding the spirit of Lashon Harah, see below in the introduction to this work. Ve'sifrei Shmirat Lashon, and my work Shmirat Lashon, which the Chafetz Chaim also offered. It is a complementary book to Sefer Chafetz Chaim. It's a Musar book. It talks about Sham Aitkanu Kol Ma'amarei Hashas Midrashim HaZohar HaKodesh, where we cite all the passages in the Talmud, Midrash, and Zohar HaKodesh in that book of Shmirat Lashon. And Iskarin Be'inyan Zeh, that discuss this topic. If one analyzes and studies them well, his hair will stand on the end from his realization of the gravity of the sin of Lashon Harah. Okay, so that is the end of this, the second day, and we will continue B'ezrat Hashem tomorrow.